Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube live session, Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. My pleasure to be here and glad to have each and every one of you here as well. If you can hear me, please type in a VV Nation to let me know that I'm coming across loud and clear or soft. Hopefully it's loud and clear. In the background, making sure that everything is working well, is my producer, Joey. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
There you go. He doesn't talk much at all, but he does a really good job of making me look good on camera. Not much work he has to do on his part, because who could hate this? Look at that.
Job.
Look at this. Who could hate this?
They're actually giving out overtime.
They're not giving out overtime. Don't be a hater, Joey. Don't be a hater. Again, glad to have you all here. All my regulars, glad to have you here. All my new people, thank you for showing up and supporting the channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We got to make sure that our upper management knows that we're doing what we need to do. We're growing the website. We're growing the social media and all of that stuff. Do not forget to subscribe if you are not a subscriber to the website or the YouTube channel yet. And don't forget to hit the bell icon. Listen, me and Joey got to keep our jobs, right? So they got to see that we're doing what we need to do. Just to let you know, we do have a free Financial Freedom Summit coming up next week. All right, I'm dying here, bawling my eyes out, says Rajesh. Rajesh, there's no reason in the world you should lose that kind of money. I'm telling you. And you know, listen to the people in the VectorVest chat. Listen to the people in the chat. There's no reason in the world why you should be losing that kind of money if you follow what the VectorVest software offers. I'll even let the VectorVest subscribers talk to you about that. I won't say any more about it. You talk to the VectorVest subscribers in the room. Hey, VV Nation, help Rajesh out. Let him know. All right. We have a summit coming up next week, next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. A live 3-day presentation. It is absolutely free. The 3 days will include the first day, talking about swing trading, how to hold stocks for a couple of days to a couple of weeks. Second day, we'll talk all about options. If you're new to options or you're an experienced investor in options, come check it out. We've got a lot of people lined up to talk to you from around the world. And the last day, day 3, is all about retirement. All right. So for those of you still working on your nest egg, that day is going to be all about for you. Also, just to let you know that if you ever miss any of our sessions live, we are on podcast. Go to your favorite site for podcasts. And actually, Apple is the biggest mover, isn't it, Joey? Mm-hmm. As far as podcasts, go out to your favorite place to get podcasts. Search for Trending Thursdays. You're not searching for VectorVest. You're searching for Trending Thursdays to get the podcast recording. So Apple, Stitcher, who? Overcast. Castbox. Deezer. Who the heck is Deezer? I don't know. Well, anyway, that's what we have out there for you from a podcast perspective. All right, let's get hot and heavy into it. So I got some of that out of the way, but let's get hot and heavy into what we do here on Trending Thursday. And the first thing we always look at, no matter what the market is doing, is we look at the market overview. All right, so I'm going to bring up our homepage. This is what we look at when you open up the VectorVest software. Talking about the VectorVest software, we are still offering a trial for 99 cents. 99 cents for 30 days. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. But with that 99-cent 30-day trial, you get access to all of our market timing. From a market timing perspective, we don't predict where the market is going to go. We track the trend of the market. We use an indicator called the VVC, or the VectorVest Composite. It's an arithmetic average of all of the stocks that we track in the database. Currently in the U.S. database, we track 8,358 stocks. The VVC, or the VectorVest Composite, is an indexed arithmetic average of all of those stocks. So out of the 8,358 stocks that we track, the indexed price right now is at $52.32. We track that move on both the week-over-week and day-over-day basis to let you know if the market is rising or if the market is falling. All right, down below in our quick list, you can see all of the major indices and what they're doing today. They are all down, not gangbuster down, but they are down nonetheless. The leader to the downside is the NASDAQ, down about 0.8%. Our own VectorVest composites down about 0.1%, and the Dow is down about 0.1% as well. So a down day in the market, not running away. A lot of people were talking, I saw in the chat, they bought contra ETFs. I didn't say that that was a bad thing to do, but I always say it's tough to trade against the primary wave of the market. Remember, from a market timing perspective and timing the market, we have an indicator called the primary wave, which looks at the market's move, that VectorVest composite on a week-over-week basis. Notice that with today's action, October 15th, I'm not going to talk a lot about these different indicators in the color guard, but notice in the trend column, we track two trends of the market for you every day. The first two letters looks at what we call the primary wave or the week-over-week movement of the VectorVest composite. It's up because today's price, the price of the VectorVest composite right now is at $52.31, which is higher than it was a week ago from $52. It is always hard, say the right words, Joey. It is, I got to use my words. I got to spell it out. It's always hard to trade against the primary wave. And you know something? People get caught up in the news and they say, well, this is happening and that is happening. I'm going to go and listen. The VectorVest software is designed to help you with your trading plan of knowing when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell. I'm not telling you that it's time to play the market to the downside quite yet. Let the market come to you and use the power of the VectorVest software to help you to make the right decisions at the right time. As I look at the color guard, there's a lot of green, there's a lot of yellow, using it like a traffic light. Right now is the time to still be a little bit cautious in the market. Actually, the market is still looking to be a little toppy. I have an indicator called the MTI, or market timing indicator, which is on a scale between 0 and 2, and it helps to alert me when the market is looking for a top. This is the kind of information that 99-cent trial will give to you every single day. So now, with that kind of information, you can make better decisions and not prematurely go short or prematurely go long after a market is bottom. So this is that kind of information that you get for 99 cents. So from a market timing perspective, what am I telling you? Telling you to just be careful. A down day, one day doesn't make a trend. So the market's down today doesn't mean that it's going to continue to go down. And if you are currently placing trades on the downside, just be careful, tighten your stops, make sure you're okay. I'll get to some of these stocks that you're typing in here, I'll get to. Let's see. You guys say NEO is overvalued, but every time going up and up, and you said it's worth $1 each stock, like, hello, you know what you're doing? Yeah, I know what I'm doing. You want to know more about NEO? We're going to talk about NEO today. And you want a real assessment of NEO? I'm going to give you a real assessment of NEO today. So to answer your question, yeah, we know what we're talking about, but you know something? I'd rather have the probabilities on my side than to take a chance on a stock that I think is going to go up. And how many times have you all done it? And answer honestly. How many of you have done this, said, well, I think this stock is going to go up, only to watch it fall and lose a lot of money? We're going to talk about NEO today, and we're going to give a really good, fair assessment of the stock and why it's valued where it is, and give an explanation of why VectorVest does what it does and why the power of VectorVest will help you. Now, there's different types of investors in the market. You have traders and you have investors. Depending on how you play the market will determine how you play NEO. So let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that into perspective. You know, I'm always going to jump when somebody jumps at me because can't nobody on the other side of this camera tell me that this software doesn't work. I've been here for 16 years. I've made a lot of money and trained people, a lot of people, on how to make money in the market. So I'm going to put that out there that way. All right. So from the perspective of the market right now, just be careful. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not telling you to get scared and sell. I'm not telling you to go play the market to the downside. All I'm saying is right now, just be careful. Use the power of the software to help you to make the right decisions at the right time. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. So from this perspective, let's go to our watch list.
Then says, watch your blood pressure.
Well, my blood pressure is fine. Listen, I am passionate about this software. I know the software works. And like I said, can't nobody tell me that this software doesn't work. And when you come at me because you're not sure how to use the software, I'm going to bite back just a little because I want you to understand how to use the software. All right, I'm going to go to the Viewers tab. All right, and from the Viewers tab, we're going to see the stocks that we have in here. Let's go to our watch list viewer. Let's go down to the YouTube Trending Thursday, and let's go down to our watch list for today. And every week, we always start off with, again, market timing. So I'm going to show two indicators that we use for market timing. If you're a VectorVest subscriber, we use the VVC or the VectorVest Composite. For those of you who are not subscribers to the software, I'm still going to keep you in the loop by utilizing the S&P 500. All right, so let's take a look at them in my list. This list is sorted automatically by our master indicator, VST. So the stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing will be at the top of the list, sorted all the way down. And for the question about NEO, look where NEO stands in my list. Out of the 17 stocks that we have in here, NEO's number 3. I got nothing really bad to say about NEO, but we're going to understand why I'm looking at a price of $28 and a value of $1.60. But I'm also going to tell you the type of investor that plays it, how they play it, and depending on if you're not that type of investor, why you would not play it. All right. So let's go look at this SPY, the S&P 500, along with the VVC, which is somewhere right here. These are the two indicators that we use for market timing. All right. So right now, what I told you is be careful in the market right now. All right. Don't panic, but don't back up the truck. Let's go right click. Let's go view the stock graphs. All right. So looking at the S&P 500 hitting all-time highs, I know that. We pulled back off of those all-time highs. Let me take off some of these lines here. We did pull back off of that low all-time high. We bounced off a level of support at $321.61. The market or the S&P decided to go back up again. You'll notice that I use several different types of moving averages. For the shorter term investor, I will use the 3 and the 8 exponential moving average. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Let's go put on the 20. The 20-period exponential moving average. Let's go change the style. Let me make this line a little darker for you. And so notice that when the S&P 500 is above that 20-day exponential moving average, it's a good time to be in the market. When it's below, it's not a good time to be in the market. I'm going to put on a 3-month graph. In the most recent 3 months, the last time the S&P 500 went above my point of the 20-day exponential moving average was on 9/30. It went up. It came down for 1 day and came back up. If you're still long in the market, I totally understand. Now, for those of you who are getting nervous, I've got 3 days where the market or the S&P is going down. Notice this open candle right here. This is a little bit of a rebound day. Yes, the price of the S&P gapped down today. Went down below my trend line, my upward trend line. But the open candle means that the open price is lower than the close price right now. So the close price or the price right now is at 346.77. The S&P opened up today at 333.09. A little bit of a rebound day and still above the 20-day exponential moving average. Something else that you'll only find in the VectorVest software is an indicator called RT, relative timing. Shows me the short-term price trend of the market. Above the value of 1, the market is in an uptrend, or the S&P is in the uptrend. Even with the pullback, RT is still above 1. Pulling back a little bit, this is why I say just be careful. But look at that nice rebound day, even though the candle is red, a nice rebound. The price started at the bottom of the candle and is now trading towards the top of the candle. That's one indicator if you're not a subscriber to the software. But if you are a subscriber to the software, here's the VectorVest Composite. Let's make that a little darker for you. And currently, it's still in that uptrend. The pullback on over 8,300 stocks still did not bring us below that trend line connecting the lows, and currently still above the 20-day exponential moving average. So why is looking at the VectorVest Composite altogether, in my opinion, better than just looking at the S&P 500. Why? S&P 500 has got 500 stocks, albeit some of the best stocks in the market. I understand that. But when I've got an indicator that groups together over 8,300 stocks, we feel that it is a better representation of broad market movement. Still in an uptrend with that trend line connecting the lows, still above that 20-day exponential moving average. Interesting, though, that RT is below 1. That could be a signal that the market is ready to pull back. I'm going to keep my eye on it, but I'm not going to panic with today's activity. Always remember, let the trade come to you. Don't try to second guess the market or what you think a stock is going to do. That's what stops are for in helping you with your when to sell. Remember, a trading plan has 3 things: knowing when to buy, knowing what to buy, and knowing when to sell. Use market timing to help you with your when to sell. Look at graphs to help you with your when to sell, and use individual stops to help you with your when to sell. VectorVest provides all of that critical data to help you with your when to sell. All right, so that's what's going on in the market from a market timing perspective. Let's look at what news could be affecting the market at the current time. So I'm going to go to our first story, always still with market timing. First story I have here is, let's scroll down, jobless claims rose to 898,000 last week, 898,000. So a lot more people, or more people, are looking to get claims or to get money for being out of work. So they put in unemployment claims. Well, think about that. With that being said, with that being done, the market or the economy is trying to recover, but COVID-19, the pandemic that we're in, is still stymieing what's going on. So you keep watching this. 1 week it's up, 1 week it's down, back and forth. This is why we use market timing to cool out all of the noise to give you the useful information. Next one, the dollar ticks up on stalled stimulus talks. So now it gets back to unemployment is starting to rise again. Stimulus, that's been the biggest mover in the market right now, pushing the market higher. When the stimulus talks start to shimmy down a little bit, then we have issues. The market doesn't like that. Market doesn't like uncertainty. So either there's going to be a plan to get more stimulus to people, or there isn't. The market's trying to say, well, I don't know, and the market's being affected by that. But the dollar ticks up, that's going to hurt gold. Gold normally goes up when the dollar ticks down. All right, so the yuan falls. The second biggest economy we have in the world is the Chinese market. Looking at what's going on with the dollar and how that is affecting the market as well. And the last story I have is this. Coronavirus stimulus talks with the White House are at an impasse. That's a big mover of the market. Now, when I talk about movers of the market, let me tell you what moves markets globally. Earnings, interest, and inflation. That's what moves markets globally. Stimulus talks for coronavirus is news that affects the market. But the 3 things that move markets globally are earnings, interest, and inflation. Earnings going up on stocks, we're going to be in a bull market. Interest and inflation low, that's the ideal Goldilocks scenario for a bull market. Oh my gosh, Siri does that all the time. Siri's listening. Stop, Siri. All right. So keeping that in mind, those are the 3 things that move the markets. Corona stimulus talks will affect the market, and it will affect the market emotionally. I don't want you guys to invest emotionally. You need to have tact in what you do. You need to have a plan and stick to your plan. No matter what happens as far as news, you're going to be all right. All right, so those are the stories that I have that are affecting the market. We looked at what's going on in tracking the market by way of the SPY, or the S&P 500, and our VectorVest composite. From a market timing perspective, what do? You sit tight, let your stops manage your stocks at this time. All right, I'm going to go back into the software. And guys, if you have any questions about my first story in regards to the market overview, let me know. Type that into the room. I'll always field questions, all right? So I want to know if you have any questions about the first story. Always remember, too, again, about our podcast. Down below the video, we have a store for merchandise. If you want to purchase any VectorVest merchandise, you can do that right below the video. We do have a mobile app for the software as well. If you have a phone, like I have my iPhone, gonna talk about Apple. But my iPhone, I can look at the VectorVest software on that as well. Remember I told you I would talk a little bit more about that 99-cent trial? I've got the okay. For those of you who are traders, I've got the okay to let you know that if you are interested in our trading room called the Jockey Club, that 99 cents can still get you a 30-day trial to our VectorVest real-time software, along with 30 days access to the Derby. You want to trade? Steve and I do a morning session every morning between 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. where we use that Derby tool for trading. 99 cents gets you access. 99 cents gets you access. Folks, it's there. Use it. VectorVest has been an excellent assistant. I use 2 other subscriptions and blend them together to make a decision. Thank you for that, Peter. Peter says he likes bananas better as well. Please, could you show where I can see on the VectorVest software buy up to... I'm not understanding what you're asking me, Douglas. Buy up to dollars? Buy up to, what is, does that make?
Buy up to money?
Buy up to, I'm not sure what you're asking me. Patrick said he wants back into the jockey. That's not my deal. That's Steve's deal. Most likely it's me and Steve that do it.
He said earlier, where can I see stock is a buy up to the money and stop loss at money? Does that help?
Well, every stock, if I wanted to print a list or do a search for every stock that's a buy recommendation, I can do that. I can create that in the Unisearch tool. Number 1, every stock in the software gets a stop price. Where's that? Oh, gosh. Why is my stop? Oh, there it is. The stop price. And that is your line in the sand on any stock that's in the software. And it is individual for every individual stock that we have. So every stock gets its own line in the sand or stop price. Every time a stock goes below the stop price, the stock automatically gets to be a sell recommendation. Michael says, I have real time. Can I try the Jockey Club for $9.95? If so, how? Michael, give our product support staff a call to let them know that you were watching me here on Trending Thursday. See what they can do for you. All right, see what they can do for you. Let me see. Joey says, can you get the Derby access if you're already on the 99-cent trial? Henry, that's a good question. Again, give our product support staff a call. Let them know you were here on Trending Thursday, and let them know that your 99-cent trial should give you access to the real-time software along with 30 days access to the Derby tool. All right, Mukesh, I'll get to that in a second. Any individual stocks that you're looking for, I will be taking a look at them a little later. Jockey Club with Glenn are the best. Thank you for that, Marbentini. I appreciate that. All right, Super Watchdog, any trial? Scott, if you take the real-time trial, Super Watchdog is an individual. I don't think that it's part of the trial. I don't think so. Not a part of the 99-cent trial. What the acronyms under the exchange column mean. So under the exchange column, O stands for over-the-counter or NASDAQ stocks. A stands for American Exchange. N stands for the New York Stock Exchange. TE, that is a symbol that's only in the VectorVest software to denote the VectorVest composite. But we also track P for pink sheets and I for indices. What about the X? Oh, the little X in front of it means that the stock has options attached to it. All right, so if you're an options trader, you can quickly see what exchange the stock is on, along with is the stock optionable or not. All right, so say which one. Does VectorVest connect to Interactive Brokers, allow fractional share purchases? If IB accepts fractional shares, then Interactive Brokers is one of our partner brokers that you can use to trade directly from the software into Interactive Brokers, but you got to have RoboTrader to do the direct connection directly from the software to your Interactive account. All right, thank you for all of the questions in regards to the first story, talking about the market overview. All right, let's get into my next news story. All right, my next one is about coronavirus. Notice this week, Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine trial is paused after an adverse event in a participant. Interesting how Operation Warp Speed is out there to help us to get very quickly to a vaccine for the pandemic. This now makes the third company that has shut down or paused its vaccines. We had Johnson & Johnson. Prior to that, we had AstraZeneca. And then the next story is Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly's COVID-19 antibody trial paused over safety concerns. So I have a question. How comfortable are you with the standards that are being used for Operation Warp Speed to get to a vaccine? Companies like all of these pharmaceutical companies, when they're coming up with any drug, has this happen? Why is it more publicized now? Because we're in a pandemic and a lot of people are leery about whether or not they want to take a new vaccine for the COVID-19 without as much rigorous testing that is normally done in regular situations. This is a different situation going on, folks, right? We're currently in the midst of a pandemic, and the government has sanctioned Operation Warp Speed to get the vaccine out. But I like that, whether they had to do it. They had to come out and say that this is happening, that we're putting out the antibodies, we're putting out the vaccines, they're affecting people adversely. We got to let the people know. Phase 3 trial of Lilly's Active 3 monoclonal antibody has been ordered by the FDA. So the FDA is still, of course, involved to pause over safety concerns. The news was first reported by the New York Times. And the company was confirmed to CNBC. We are aware that out of an abundance of caution, the Active 3 Independent Data Safety Monitoring Board has recommended a pause in enrollment. It's slumping on the news, now down 2.8%. That was a couple of days ago on October 13th. Its shares have moved higher by 1.16%. So these two companies have had to halt their vaccine trials because of some ill effects. But on the other side, let's talk about the companies that are moving. Pfizer and BioNTech may be the first to show efficacy of the COVID-19 vaccine. BNTX, a partner of Pfizer, haven't had to stop their late-stage COVID-19 vaccine study over safety concerns. So this is on the other side of the coin. BioNTech CEO Ugur Sahin told Bloomberg after publishing some data that they used to narrow their candidate from a slate of 4 contenders. Because they're structures of a trial, the companies had first disclosed early results of another vaccine, BNT162b1, in July. Investors had been optimistic about its prospects, but after comparing data, the firms decided instead to pursue another candidate, 162b2. BioNTech and Pfizer are still sticking with their previously announced target of being able to provide preliminary data on whether the mRNA vaccine works as soon as this month, October. Interesting. If a threshold for the infections is reached, any submissions for regulatory approval would come later. So there's 2 companies that are moving ahead because they haven't had any roadblocks, and then 2 companies that had to pause because they did have roadblocks. All right, so let's take a look at these companies. AstraZeneca is not in my list today, but I did put it in my list today, even though it wasn't one of the stories today. Let's take a look at them. There's Eli Lilly, there's Johnson & Johnson, BNTX, there's Pfizer and AstraZeneca. So remember, the 3 companies that did have to pause because of roadblocks of bad things happening to people were AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Eli Lilly. But let's look at them. With today's price activity, BNTX is nicely up about 1.5%. Pfizer, AstraZeneca down, Eli Lilly, and Johnson & Johnson. Let's do a real analysis. So the news is out there. Now I'm going to use the power of the VectorVest software to put out real analysis, not speculation on what I think the stock is going to do or whether I think the stock is a long-term hold or not. I'm going to let the software, the power of the software, answer that question. We assign a value to every stock every day. Value looks at what we think the stock is worth. We look at things like earnings. Earnings is the thing that moves the stock's price the most. We look at earnings growth rate, amongst other things, as a VectorVest proprietary indicator. The 2 things that I do know is that it does look at earnings and earnings growth. So right now, Eli Lilly is worth $186 and trading at $145, where our mantra is to have you in safe, undervalued stocks. that are rising in a rising market. So Eli Lilly meets the first thing. It is undervalued. Johnson & Johnson has a value of $178 with a price of $147, currently under its value. Excellent. BioNTech, on the other side, is valued at $6 and trading at $88.23. Aha! Now, because the stock is clearly over its value, does it make it a bad stock? The answer to that is no. It means that there's perception behind the stock, that people are investing in it, driving the stock's price higher. They're willing to pay a premium to own the stock above and beyond what it's currently worth. That's not a bad thing. All right. Pfizer's got a value of 34, a price of 36. Well, the stock is what we're going to consider to be fairly valued. We look at AstraZeneca, trading at 52 with a value of 28. The stock is clearly overvalued. But again, because the stock is overvalued doesn't make it a bad stock. Now, let's look at the proprietary indicators that we have within VectorVest. Relative value, RV. All of these indicators I'm going to talk about now are all cast on a scale between 0 and 2, where above 1 is favorable, below 1 is unfavorable. Relative value, 1.47 on Lilly, above the value of 1. We compare the stock from a relative value standpoint. We compare the stock to a safe investment in a AAA corporate bond. You buy a bond, after it matures, you get all of your money back with a small interest rate. It's a safe investment. So you hold a bond in knowing that after it matures, you're going to get your money back. Safe investment, not gangbuster, doesn't run up or run down. You get your money back, all right? Eli Lilly, if I had to compare Eli Lilly to owning a AAA corporate bond, I'd rather own Eli Lilly longer. Why? It's got a relative value of 1.47. Tells me, 1, it's above the value of 1, it's favorable. Eli Lilly should outperform that AAA corporate bond by 47% over the next 1 to 3 years. I'd rather hold Eli Lilly as opposed to that AAA corporate bond. Johnson & Johnson, above 1. Johnson & Johnson should outperform that AAA corporate bond by 15% over the next 1 to 3 years. I'd rather own Johnson & Johnson. BioNTech, on the other hand, has got a relative value way below 1. What does that tell you? This is a news-driven stock. What kind of person invests in a news-driven stock? More of a speculator or a trader or a shorter and more so of an aggressive trader. The upside potential is not there with the stock being overvalued. All right? That's real analysis. Okay? Pfizer, it's got a relative value at 0.92, below the value of 1. Long term, I'm not sure if I really want to hold on to Pfizer long term, and the same thing with AstraZeneca. Now, many of you will say, well, wait a minute, Pfizer and AstraZeneca have been around a long time. Absolutely. But when I can see if the stock is over or under its value and looking at its upside potential with relative value, it gives me the news or the information I need to know, not what I want to know. Well, it's up. It's been around for a long time. Absolutely. But from an analysis standpoint, a AAA corporate bond, that safer investment should outperform both Pfizer and AstraZeneca. Let's look at the next indicator, relative safety. The stock's consistency and predictability of financial performance. It's also an indicator of risk. Relative safety below 1 tells me the stock is more riskier to own. Eli Lilly's got a relative safety above 1. It's a nice, safe stock that consistently meets or exceeds its earnings expectation. Johnson & Johnson at 1.29, a good, safe stock that I wouldn't mind owning. BioNTech, upside potential is not there. Relative safety is not there. The fundamentals behind the stock are not there. This is news driven. And as long as you know that and you still buy it, you understand that you trade it a little differently than a stock that you're trying to hold long term. Pfizer, safety at 0.96, below the value of 1. Fundamentally, the stock's fundamentals are not there. AstraZeneca, interesting that it's got a relative safety above 1. So it's not nearly as risky a stock, but the upside potential is not there. Who plays a safe stock? A long-term safe stock would be a long-term investor or a retirement-minded person. The stock consistently meets or exceeds its earnings expectations. I keep that in mind. The last thing, Is the stock in an uptrend? Relative timing will tell me that. Eli Lilly, 0.78, below the value of 1. Eli Lilly right now, even though it's fundamentally sound, it's not in an uptrend right now. Johnson & Johnson, even though it's fundamentally sound, not in an uptrend right now because RT's below 1. BioNTech, fundamentally not sound, but in an uptrend. Man, that adds more credence to the fact that this stock is more of a trade stock. And because you now have that information, not just looking to see that the stock is up today, but you have the information that the fundamentals are not there and it's going up, this is a trade. You play it like a trade. Pfizer, not going up in price right now. RT is at 0.87, below the value of 1. AstraZeneca, not going up in price right now. RT is at 0.80, below the value of 1. And then we look at putting all three indicators together into VST. What's got the best combination of all three? Looks like Eli Lilly with a VST of 1.19. Now, a couple other things. One, earnings per share on Eli Lilly is good. They grow their earnings at a clip of 19% a year. Man, fundamentally, I love the stock. It's below its value. What's hurting it is that it's in a downtrend right now. I look at Johnson & Johnson, $8.76 earnings per share. They only grow their earnings, though, at a clip of 1%. At least it's positive. Look at BioNTech. We already know it's a trade. Look at their earnings, negative 51 cents, negative 9% earnings growth rate. If that doesn't add more to the to understanding that this is a trade, I don't know what else can. All right, looking at Pfizer and AstraZeneca, both growing their earnings at a clip negative percentage. Folks, when I say we analyze stocks, I ain't just whistling Dixie. We do a true analysis on any stock in the database that you want. And as a matter of fact, Joey will put a link in the chat box. If you want a free stock analysis report on any stock that shows you this kind of information, click on that link. Put whatever stock you want that we track. You can get this kind of analysis on any stock. Let's go right-click, view the stock graph. Let's go peep them out real quick. Put them on a 3-month graph. Eli Lilly, what did I tell you? Fundamentally, it was sound. What's the stock's price doing? Going down. I like the stock. The stock's got a level of support sitting at 143.31. Let's see if that level can hold. If it doesn't hold, it's got more downside. RT tells me the stock's in a downtrend. I already told you that, right? Before I even looked at the graph. Fundamentally, the stock is good. Right now, it's caught up in a downtrend. I've got a 20-day exponential moving average price below it. Let's go to the next stock. Johnson & Johnson. Fundamentally sound. RT tells me the stock's in a downtrend. Boom. Look at it. Below the 20-day exponential moving average, RT below 1. Now, somebody will say, well, look at the stock ran. Man, yeah, it did. Was it confirmed by relative timing? No. What did the stock do? Continued to fall. Yeah, folks. I'm going to tell you that there's nobody out there that does what we do. That RT is a very smart, fast indicator. When I'm looking to see if a stock is in an uptrend or not, that RT needs to go above 1. That's a more solid uptrend than this peak up here or this peak up here. This is the information that you need to make the right decisions. All right, what else is in here? BNTX, not fundamentally sound, but what did I tell you was helping it? That it was in an uptrend. Boom. Stock's above the 20-day exponential moving average, moving higher. Big down day yesterday, a little bit of a bearish engulfing. No follow through today. This is a trader stock. And because you have that information, you know that you trade it short term. Next stock, Pfizer, in a bit of a channel from the high, still trending lower. RT below 1 is currently above that level of a 20-day exponential moving average, but still within the bounds of a level of resistance at 38.11 and a level of support at 35.38, sitting in a channel. And last but not least, AstraZeneca. Remember, Pfizer and AstraZeneca have been around for a while. I'm looking at a graph that's telling you maybe this is not the right time to be in the stock. The news is out there. I did the analysis. We're now backing up with a chart of the stock. So that's analysis. All right. And for anybody who tells me that, well, you got a stock that's trading, at blah, 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 or values at blah, 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 I've walked you through the analysis of being able to make a better decision. All right, do we have any questions? While we're putting in our questions for the story, if you do want to follow me on social media, check at Glenn Tompkins Jr. on either Instagram or Twitter, at Glenn Tompkins Jr. Anna says, can you get all these charts in the mobile app? The answer to that is yes. So Anna, if I've got the mobile app, I can pull up the stock right on my phone and look at the graphs and look at this information like RVRS, RT. And you know something? Not every stock is a long-term buy. And what VectorVest shows you is what stocks aren't a long-term buy. And if you say, well, I bought that stock and I lost money, well, one, are you a trader? If you're not, then why were you in a trading stock? And if you're a long-term and you say, well, I lost money on that stock, well, why? What kind of stop did you put on? Did VectorVest say it was okay to still be in it long-term? Is the fundamentals good? And if you answer no to those questions, why were you in that stock? This gives you straightforward information. Does the VectorVest software have recommendations for maximum price to buy? When you say maximum price to buy, no, everybody. So when I'll answer the question this way, when a stock's price is going up, all right, and you're thinking about getting into the stock, if the stock is less than $20, I'm going to tell you to put in a buy stop order 5 cents higher than the high. All right. If the stock is greater than $20, I'm going to tell you to put in a buy stop order 12 cents higher than the high. Both of those means are helping you to get into the stock as it's rising. That's always important. Before you pull the trigger on any stock, you make sure the stock is rising as you buy it. All right. So with that, let's go on to our next story. All right. The next story is going to be talking about 5G. All right. So Apple came out with their news about the new phone. Man, I'm going to buy everything new. I already told my wife. She looked at me and said, huh? I want a new phone. I've got 3 iPads. I've got an iPad Pro, an iPad Air, and an iPad Mini. I think it's time to replace all of them. I've got 2 notebooks. I think it's time to upgrade them as well. So with all of the phones that are now coming out from Apple that are going to be 5G, carriers look to solidify customer base with iPhone deals. All right. Now, the big thing is, are these companies ready with their 5G? All right. Are they ready with their 5G? I was with Sprint that turned over into T-Mobile. I don't have 5G on my iPhone 11 Pro Max. Do you get any 5G at all in Charlotte?
Just in Charlotte.
Yeah, Joey will get 5G in Charlotte. I'm hardly ever in Charlotte. I live up in Lake Norman, so I'm not in Charlotte that often. But 5G, even on the 11, is there. But now the phones are coming out with bona fide 5G. Are the mobile companies keeping up? And not only that, to get a piece of the iPhone 12 business, all of the major carriers are trying to get and keep their customers. In the presentation, though, Apple did talk a lot about Verizon more so than any other carrier, because evidently Verizon must have some really good bona fide 5G as compared. I'm moving over from T-Mobile. My wife already started going to AT&T. I'm probably moving over to AT&T as well. But my question is, are these companies ready for the 5G influx that's going to happen with the Apple products? So what I did in my watch list, I looked at some of the mobile carriers. So what did I look at? I looked at Verizon. I looked at was Verizon the only one that I actually know? It was Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. How come I didn't put them all in here? All right, let's go with T-Mus.
It's Glenn's fault.
And AT. No, it was Joey's fault because you pull up the wrong story. Anyway, so we'll go look at, first off, where they sit in the list. Oh, Verizon is about halfway down. T-Mobile is right below it, and AT&T is towards the bottom of the list. So these are the carriers, the 5G carriers. Let's see what they look like. Verizon is trading at 57 with a value of 51, slightly over its value. T-Mobile, on the other hand, remember, they picked up Sprint, so they picked up all of the debt that came with Sprint to merge into one. Trading at 114 with a value of 29, and AT&T trading at 27 with a value of 24. all of these are pretty much at or overvalued. T-Mobile is the most overvalued. Let's go look at the long-term upside potential on the stocks. Verizon, relative value below 1. AAA corporate bonds should outperform Verizon over the next 1 to 3 years. T-Mobile, RV at 0.31. AAA corporate bonds should outperform T-Mobile over the next 1 to 3 years, whereas AT&T does have some upside. Relative value at 1.03. It is above 1, so it's favorable. It's not above 1 by a lot, but I would rather hold AT&T long-term as far as a mobile carrier. Let's look at the safety. Verizon's got a relative safety at 1, dead even flat. So when earnings comes out, it may or may not meet earnings. Whereas T-Mobile's got a relative safety at 1.19. Relatively a safer stock, even though relative value, the upside potential may not be there, but from a safety perspective, this could be a little bit more of a value play from that perspective. And AT&T's got a safety of 0.80, so the earnings may or may not be there as well. Looking at all three stocks, none of the RTs are above the value of 1, so none of these mobile carriers are in an uptrend right now. Real quick, Verizon's got earnings of $4.90. Now, keep in mind, our earnings per share are 12 months forecasted. 12 months forecasted out, all right? Why is that important? Because I'd rather know where the earnings are going to be for a stock than just seeing what the raw number is right now. The raw number is not going to help me. But is the earnings rising or not? Earnings growth rate on Verizon, negative. They're growing their earnings at a negative clip. T-Mobile, growing their earnings at a negative clip of -6%, and AT&T growing their earnings at a negative rate as well. Interesting. Why are the earnings in negative territory? A lot of turnover. I think a lot of it has to deal with the turnover in people moving from mobile carrier to mobile carrier. Very interesting. So they're not growing their earnings, none of them. So as far as are they keeping up or is the news affecting them adverse, I'm not sure I'm ready to hold any of these long-term yet. So let's go look at their graphs. So by analysis, I'm not thinking I'm ready to really jump on board with any of them. Look at Verizon. Real recently went below that 20-day exponential moving average. But how about if you combine the power of going above that value of the 20-day exponential moving average and using the VectorVest indicator RT. RT above 1 tells you the stock's in an uptrend. Look at that run. Look at that run. Now, RT did not go below 1 until the stock stopped moving sideways and went down. Was that a great opportunity using RT as an indicator to get in? Absolutely. Again, you won't find it anyplace else but in VectorVest. T-Mobile, same kind of scenario. Stock's price above the 20-day exponential moving average, RT above 1. How about when it fell? RT went below 1. Could you have taken that profit off the table? Yes. Could I have gotten back in? I sure could have when the stock's price went back above the 20-day, RT went above 1. And currently, the stock's price fell. I can't protect you against that. Somebody said, well, how do you protect against that? I can't. That's what you got stops for. All right. But I will tell you that that was a candlestick pattern known as a shooting star, which could have showed a possible reversal of which you got the next day. And currently the stock's price is below the 20-day exponential moving average, and RT is below 1. And the last stock, AT&T, is just going the heck in the handbasket. Look at it just fall. All right. Any questions on the mobile carriers in regards to 5G phones coming out? Let me know. All right, while that's going on, don't forget, if you like the content of what we're going through right now, you know something? I didn't say this earlier. Share this live stream on your social media. You never know who might be wanting to tune in. All right. And again, this is real analysis. This is not what Glenn thinks about any of these stocks. It's definitely not what Joey thinks about any of these stocks. Joey, what do you think about these stocks? Don't listen. I'm just going to try and tell you, because when Joey starts to talk, you say, so Joey, what do you think about that stock? That's exactly what happens. You just stop. And then afterwards you go, because that's what Joey, you be like, what are you talking about? And then if you listen to what Joey says and you buy those stocks, that's what happens. So it's not about what I say about the stocks. Everything for me is heavily leaning on the power of the VectorVest software. All right, no questions? All right, so make sure as we continue to go around, hit the like button, folks. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe. This makes our upper management so that they can see that we are growing the business, at least from a social media standpoint.
There was a question at the end of the last story that I told them that you would answer.
What's the question?
It was for you to recap the 3 and the 8.
To recap the 3 and the 8, all right, so if I go look at the stock graph, let's go to the stock graph. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. What is the 3 and the 8? 2 moving averages. I'll just kick off the 20. 2 moving averages, a 3 and an 8 exponential moving average. Let's go change my layout. 3 and an 8 exponential moving average for the purposes of getting in and out of a stock. They're fast indicators, fast moving averages. They do a good job of helping you stay in a trending stock, but they will get you in and out faster. Thus, the reason why, for the purposes of the majority of the people in the room, instead of using that faster moving average, I've now come down to using the 20-day exponential moving average, which does a good job from the standpoint of helping you out. Where did I just do? There it is, the EMA 20. It's a good way from a middle-of-the-road investor to know when it's okay or not okay to be in. The 3 and the 8 are faster indicators that can be used for either day trading or swing trading. All right.
Layout.
Huh?
What layout?
I had to create that. This is not a layout in the software. What I had to do in order to add those moving averages, I had to go to the price box to the right-click on it to add the moving average. It is exponential. I click on the number 10 because 3 is not there or 8 is not there. I do it again. Right-click, add moving average, exponential 10. So I'm going to uncheck. Those are already unchecked. Now at the bottom of my parameter list, I've got 2 EMA 10s. Hit the drop down, take that to a 3. Hit the drop down, take that to an 8. And then bada boom, bada bing, they're now on my graph.
Bob's your uncle.
Say again?
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's my uncle?
Yeah.
Who's Bob?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, if there's no more questions, let's move on to my next story. All right. My next story is all about NIO. Now, I look at a lot of YouTube content because I want to see how I compare out to everybody else that's presenting on YouTube. I've seen a lot of short content on NIO and why a lot of people out there are telling you, well, it's a good stock, it's not a good stock. Again, that's not my job. My job is to find the stocks that are hitting the news. NIO stock can double. JP Morgan says it gained 26% in a day. Well, first thing that comes to my mind is that it's a news-driven thing. JP Morgan raised it because if I go to the next story, NIO stock jumps towards a record after JP Morgan nearly triples its price target. That's a news-driven story. All right? So everybody's out there, I'm looking at content and they're saying, yeah, this is a great stock and this is where you should buy it, this is where you should sell it. You're relying on subjective information. I don't know how fully objective it is. So I'm going to give you an objective assessment of NIO. All right, so that's the story. I don't even have to read it. The headline tells the whole story, all right, pretty much. Let's get back into my watch list. NIO is the story. Now, I also put other stocks that were in here that were in that space, the electric vehicle space. Since early July, Glenn has been talking, Glenn and Joey, it's more so Glenn. Glenn has been talking about clean energy. All right, that was our first story earlier this year, talking about clean energy, and it's been rocking and rolling. All right, so clean energy looks at solar, looks at wind, but electric vehicles have taken center stage. All right, so I look at NIO. NIO is trading at $28, a value of $1.60. So somebody said, do I know what I'm talking about? You saw that, right, Joey? Mm-hmm. They said that. Do I know what I'm talking about? When we value a stock, we look at earnings. Earnings on the stock is a negative earnings. They're making negative money. Now, they're trying to grow their earnings at a clip of 8% a year. I hear that. But they ain't making money. So that's going to affect how we value this stock. I'm not going to give a full-blown, hey, the stock is worth what the stock's price is trading at when the company is losing money. Plain and simple. So to ask me the question if I know what I'm talking about, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. The software is designed to give you what you need to hear, not what you think you need to hear. All right, so the stock is overvalued. Let's do more information. Upside potential on the stock, relative value. The stock's upside potential as compared to AAA corporate bond. Are you ready to hold NEO long-term yet? Well, AAA corporate bond should really blow NEO out of the water as far as performance over the next 1 to 3 years. Okay. Relative safety. Does the company meet or exceed its earnings expectations quarter over quarter, year over year? Is it a safe stock? Below the value of 1. Not altogether a safe stock. What's helping the stock? The stock is definitely in an uptrend right now. It's pegged at the highest value that we can give on a stock that's moving up. That's important. Now, I can make the decision that NEO right now is a news-driven stock that I don't want to hold long-term, that is not altogether a safe stock. All right, so let's add a little bit more to the story. What other stocks are in that space? Let's look at Tesla. Tesla is trading at $446 with a value of 85, way overvalued. Now, does it have good upside potential? Darn right. Is it a safe stock? Yup. Is it going up in price? Sure is. Is the earnings per share positive? $2.37. What are they doing with their earnings? They're growing it at a clip of 37% a year. Which stock would I rather buy into? All right, wait, before you answer that question, there's more. What other stock is in that space? Workhorse. That's another stock that's in that space. All right, $22 is trading at. Look at where it is sorted by our master indicator, towards the bottom of the list. So I see the videos out there that say Workhorse is the stock to buy. Okay, that's giving an opinion. I'm giving analysis. Okay, the stock's trading at $22, value of $2.50. Stock's overvalued. Does it have good upside potential? Relative value 0.50. It's not altogether a stock that I want to hold long term. News-driven stock in a space that's rocking and rolling. Is it a safe stock? Below 1. Yeah, it's not altogether a safe stock. Is it moving up in price? RT's below 1. Not thinking that I want to get into the stock right now. Negative earnings. Now, the interesting thing I like about Workhorse, the stock has got negative earnings, but they're really pushing to grow their earnings at a clip of 23% a year. With that rising earnings, they're going to get positive real soon. I like a stock that's got positive earnings and positively growing their earnings. I like Workhorse a little bit more from that perspective. Even though the fundamentals are not there yet, I like that they're really growing their earnings. Another stock, Nikola. Stock's trading at $23.18, value $6.96. Overvalued. Upside potential? Not there. I don't think I want to own that stock long term as compared to AAA corporate bond. Safety, 0. It's below 1. It's not altogether a safe stock. Is it moving up in price? No. Not only that, stock's a sell. Negative earnings, growing at a negative clip. Now you've got the real information. Not what I think about the stock. not what I think about any of these stocks. This is the power of the software that you can get for 99 cents for 30 days. Let's look at their graphs. All right? And when I did, oh man, my desk blankie went away. Let me go put that back up there. All right, let's go look at their stocks. Let's go look at their graphs. Right click. Let's go make a decision. If I'm going to look at a stock in this space, which one would I like? NEO's news-driven. I like the equity curve. But what did I find out about NEO? Let me move that over. What did I find out about NEO? The fundamentals are not there. Who trades NEO? That's more of a trade. Look at that graph. I like the graph. Don't get me wrong. Graph looks good. Good rising volume. RT is above 1. RT is pegged. But fundamentally, the stock is not good. I'm not telling you not to buy it, but I do know something. With a stock like this, I put a tighter stop. I take the profits when I can. So that's what I think about NEO even being so overvalued. I'm not telling you not to buy it, but you better make sure that you're more of an aggressive trader and you trade it more like an aggressive trader. This ain't a long-term buy and hold. What other stock is in here? Tesla. Looking at a 3-month graph. I like the fundamentals behind it. Where's it sitting right now in a level of a channel? Let's take those off. I got a level of support sitting on Tesla at 355 with a level of resistance at 502. It's in that channel. I do like fundamentally sound, but if I'm not in it yet, I'd like to see it break out of that channel. There's another stock that I wanted to take a look at. Workhorse is in here. Woo! So Workhorse, look at that movement on the stock's price. And again, folks, this ain't what I think about the stock. I'm looking at what you see. The stock's price having a hard time breaking above a level of resistance at 30.79. Look at that candle right there. That's a shooting star, follow through. Broke through a level of support at 22.75. I got another level of support sitting at 20.20. This is the kind of information I need. RT went below 1. Stock's in a downtrend. I'm going to take a look at Nikola. Look at it. Everybody calls this the next Tesla. What's it doing? Look at the RV below 1, RS below 1, RT below 1. Yeah, it may be the next Tesla. It ain't right now. And I'm going to take a look at one more stock that's been making the news. Did I not put it in here? I didn't. That's Joey's fault again. SPI. Big move on the stock today. Up 29%. Also in this space. All right. I had that as... No, I had it in here. Let's go view the stock. Let's analyze it real quick. Big move up. Stocks trading at 958. Value. The stock's is trading at 921. Value of 959. Fairly valued. Upside potential? Not there. Relative safety? Not there. What's helping it? Stocks in an uptrend. Positive earnings, but they're growing at a negative clip. What kind of person trades this? More of a trader. Rich, are you here? Is Trade Shark here? All right, because he asked me about this stock long term. I'm not feeling this stock long term. Not yet. The fundamentals are not there. The upside potential as compared to AAA corporate bond is not there. The safety or the indicator of risk, not there. Negative earnings growth rate, not there. I'm not ready. Let's go look at that graph. Am I ready to pull the trigger on? No. Look at all of this. So all of this happened because they got a contract. They got a contract in China, which is good news for it. But look at the violent swings on the stock. Are you, as let's say, even as a trader, are you comfortable playing that stock? Think about that. All right, just think about that. And it's good to see a stock move up on news, but go use the power of the software to help you to make a better decision. That's all that I say. I say that time and time again. Let the stock come to you. Don't try to speculate on what you think the stock is going to do. All right. With that, any questions on my EV stocks? Any questions on my EV stocks? All right. This is an industry that's rocking and rolling, folks. I totally understand that. Just make the right decisions at the right time and make sure you're the type of investor that can manage that trade. All right. Too many overpriced. Steve has a better singing voice than what? Brian, hush. Solo is a stock that I'm actually trading in real time. I'll take a look at that when we get to looking at individual stocks. All right. So I keep seeing the stocks and understand this. If there's a stock that at the end I don't get to, click the link that Joey's going to put in there for our free stock analysis. You can get a free stock analysis report on any stock. All right. Tesla long term. I like Tesla long term because it's got good upside potential. It's got fundamentals. Tesla, I like longer term for that reason. The stock may be overvalued, but it's got good fundamentals, good earnings, and growing their earnings at a clip. I like it. And if you think Tesla's too expensive, how about it has options? There you go. It's got options. Is there an EV? I've created my own. It's not one that's automatically built, but I've got a clean energy EVs, and I've got my stocks. I went through and did the work to find what stocks are clean energy EVs. There they are. I built it. How about you can build your own watch list on the fly whenever you want? All right. All right, let me show you something. Here's the watch list average of all of the 14 stocks that are in there. How hot is the industry? There it is. There's the industry. Look at that. Industry is rocking and rolling and coming up to a level of resistance right now. 4 cars per month, and they are using chopsticks. What is that for? I didn't get that. What'd you tell me to read it for?
I told you not to.
They have a small industrial unit in Vancouver and take 1 week to make a car. It's just a glorified motorcycle. Again, I've watched the videos on YouTube come out on a lot of these stocks. This is not my opinion. I'm using the VectorVest software to find this information. That's it in a nutshell. You know something? Everything that you see on YouTube, I'm giving you a twist. I'm giving you real data to make the right decisions. And you're not going to get, in my videos, you're not going to get caught up in the hype. I don't want you to get caught up in the hype. News is hype. All right? Wow, what other stuff I got? I got one couple other things left. My stocks of interest, there's my spider. My SPI Energy was part of my stocks of interest, but I put it up because it was still in the clean energy spot. Under the terms of the agreement, Edison Future and Tangia will cooperate with customized design, development, and production and sales of a new generation of smart electric pickup trucks. That's what SPI is moving off of, that contract with the Chinese government. So that's the story. All right. You know what else I see? Even in my videos, everybody and their mama, I said it, everybody and their mama is talking about Bitcoin. I see, hey, Glenn, I like your story, but if you look at they're talking about Bitcoin, and it's made me a lot of money, and blah, 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 blah. I see that all over the place. So you want to know something? Let's talk about Bitcoin. Today, implied volatility surging for Riot, which is blockchain, stock options. So options on it is rising. It talks a little bit about what implied volatility is. It talks about what an analyst thinks. You know something? I don't care what they think. I'm going to analyze Riot for you. Let's go put all of this to rest. Is blockchain or Bitcoin currency, whatever it is it the right time to be in it? Let's talk about it. All right, we're going to go look at that in a second. Disney, big story. Disney's seismic shift to streaming could be a threat to the stock. Why is that? Well, because Disney, the main proponent of Disney is movies and their theme park. With COVID-19, the theme park is taking a hit. You going to Disney World?
Hopefully.
When? Joey said he going to Disney World. You going to wear a mask?
Probably.
All right. Anyway.
Depends when I get to go.
It depends. I can send you. You want me to send you?
Yeah, let's go.
I'll pay for you and the babies.
All
right. So I'm going to send Joey to Disney World. But no, on the non-funny side, Disney has been affected by their theme park. That was funny.
That was funny?
Yeah.
What's funny about that?
Listen. That's if you thought I was really sending you to Disney. All right,
I
so
told the kids.
you didn't tell the kids. You're sitting right here. Did you tell Uncle Glenn was going to send you to Disney?
They said thanks, Uncle Glenn.
No, they didn't. Anyway, that's big for them to move. Think about it. That had to be a big decision to say, all right, we got to go with what's working for us, and right now it's the streaming. That's huge. How does that affect the stock? We're going to take a look at that in a second. And last but not least, in my stocks of interest is Apple. How many of you watched the Apple event? Me. Did you watch the Apple event?
A lot of it.
Yeah, you didn't watch it all. I'm a hard charging devil dog when it comes down to that. Smoke dog.
Presentation to do.
I had a presentation to do, but I posted on social media that I was watching it. Apple analysis praised the iPhone 12 pricing. Rest of the event met expectations. Did you see they got an iPhone 12 mini?
Yeah.
Who gets you gonna get a mini? My hands will swallow up that mini. I got these big old hands.
You know where my phone is now?
Well, but I got the iMac and the iMac. I got the 12 Pro, the 11 Pro. What do you have?
I don't know.
You got just the 11.
X.
You got the 10. Yeah, let me see your phone. So you look at the phones. All right, that's Joey's little phone with his little fobby thing in the back. And my phone. And you know, the new 12 Max is going to be even bigger than my 11 Max, which fits, you know, my hand still fits up the whole. This is the 11 Pro Max, and my hand still almost swallows it up. I'm looking forward to the 12 Pro Max. It's a little bigger. I'm liking that. I saw all of the A14 Bionic chip, the whole 9 yards. I was pumped about it. All right. Jeffrey raises its Apple target by $5 to 140. All right. Saying that the lineup was largely in line with our expectations with a few modest positive surprises, but the firm still expects robust upgrade cycle driven by inclusion of 5G. That's big, and that's why I had 5G as part of our stories today, and the aging installed base, all right, of devices that need upgrade. There's a lot of people out there that have older phones, and these launches help push people to the next cycle. All right. Raymond James outperformed 120 price target says the announced prices were the key takeaway and should increase Apple's ASP. I don't know what that means. The aggressive trading incentives from all of the carriers, we talked about the carriers. Notice that this story actually was the base for some of the other stories that I put out there today. All right. So the iPhone 12 pricing starts at $699 for the mini. Again, I don't know who. Man, I think it's probably about this size. I'm going to say, hello. Hi, I'm on my iPhone mini. Hello. All right. I think it's going to be about that size. Anyway. And, you know, my Pro versions, my 12 Pro Max was going to be $1,000. I'll go get it. Why? Because I want it. All right, let's go take a look at these stocks. So Bitcoin, let's go peep that out real quick. It was on Riot. Where does Riot sit in my list? Oh my gosh, how come Riot is not in here, Joey? Really?
You can put it in there.
Oh my goodness, Joey. It's all you. Riot, that was on my blockchain. Disney, let's go find where does Riot sit? There it is. There's my Bitcoin. Further down the lower third of my list, sorted by our master indicator, VST. What else is in here? Solo, that was another stock of interest. I'm going to put that up there. That's why. Oh my gosh, I'm in the wrong list. That's why, Joey. Oh my God, why didn't you tell me I was in the wrong list?
You're in the wrong
Oh Lord. Now, here we go. Now Riot should be in there. Sigh. All right, where's Riot? Riot still at the bottom third. What else is in here? Disney and Apple. Look at where Apple is, the number 4 stock in my list. Analyze it. Apple over its value. Again, because the stock's overvalued doesn't make it a bad stock. Where's my other? Disney and Riot. All right. Upside potential. Relative value above 1. Love it. Safety. Nicely above 1. One of the safest stocks in the database. Love it. Is it an uptrend? Yes. Earnings per share, $3.68, growing their earnings at a clip of 12% a year. Disney, $127 with a value of $43. Nicely way over its value. Upside potential on Disney, not there. Not there. All right. Disney is a company that's been around. A lot of their relative value started falling as they put all of this money into Disney Plus. All right, so the upside potential is not there. And you know something? I think that they saw all of the money that they put into the streaming, and I think they sat down and had a powwow and said, what are we going to do? And I think that was the big shift to get themselves righted as a company to get a direction, and their direction is looking at the streaming. That's what it is. Relative safety above 1, stock is in an uptrend, but the relative value is what they're working on to try to get it up there. Why? Earnings per share at $2.91 is positive, but they're growing their earnings at a clip of negative 8% a year. All right, that's not a good thing. Blockchains, talk about that. Everybody's talking about cryptocurrency. I'll go buy it because this guy says I can make a lot of money. Blah, 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 blah. Stock is at $3.44, value of 90 cents. All right, again, because it's overvalued doesn't make it a bad thing. Upside potential on blockchain. No, it ain't there. Relative safety, it ain't a safe play. What's helping it? It's in an uptrend right now. Blockchain's got a negative earnings percent and negative earnings per share and growing it at a negative rate. Whoa! What kind of person plays Riot? The trader, the speculator. Let's go check these all out, all 3 of them. Let's go check them all out. Apple, gotta love Apple. Let's take that off. Over the last year, let's put on the last 3 months, still higher than it was 3 months ago, coming off of this high, found a level of support right about at 105, bouncing higher than that. RT is still above 1. Apple's still in an uptrend. What gets you out here? Your stops. all right, your stops, and you wait for a better buying opportunity. Just go put on that 20-day exponential moving average. Let's make that a little darker so you can see it. I love that. Above the 20-day, great time to be in Apple. Below, great time to get out, back and forth. I like it. All right, and it's fundamentally sound, still moving higher over the last 3 months. Next stock in the list is Disney. Man, Disney's getting it, man. It's tough. Right now, stock's price is above the 20-day exponential moving average, just broke through a level of resistance at 126.70. It's got another level of resistance sitting at 131.13. It is moving off of a prior level of support bouncing right now, which was 121.80. I'm using a lot of technical analysis to gauge when to be in and out of Disney. All right? And the last stock that's in here is Riot Blockchain. Look how volatile the moves are on cryptocurrency. All right? Good opportunity to get in. How about this? And you can do this anytime you want. Bring up the 99-cent trial of VectorVest software. Put on a 20-day exponential moving average. How about the price went above the 20? RT went above 1. Stocks, RT still, price is still above the 20. RT still above 1. Watch volume, though. Volume starting to fail. Understand the volume is conviction. All right? And look at it. It wasn't a little bit of a wedge. Broke to the downside of the wedge and still to the downside of the wedge. A lot going on. But this is for everybody who's out there posting on YouTube about how great and how much money they're making in cryptocurrencies. It's a trade. It's straight up a trade. And you play it as you can, take the money when you can get it. All right, and I'm going to do one other stock. One other stock here is a segment that I'm going to put on my radar. I'm going to say it like this. On my radar. You're going to put in there, radar. All right. Here's a stock called Goldfield. All right. It's trading at $4.74 with a value of $7.27. Good upside potential. The safety is just below 1. And the stock's in an uptrend. Earnings per share, 35 cents, growing their earnings at a clip of 25% a year. I've created a search in the VectorVest software, of which I will not share at this particular point in time. All right? But this is a good-looking, low-dollar stock to keep your eye on. That's what this stocks on my radar is called. For that reason, stocks to keep your eyes on. Love the RT. Right now, the stock's price is going up. Watch volume. But nonetheless, overall, over the last 3 months, not a lot of crazy gyrations. Above the 20-day moving average, a great time to be in the stock. Below, not a good time. So this is a stock on my radar. And again, I'm going to call it on my radar, on the radar. And it's going to be GV. Keep track of these stocks. Let's see how they work out. All right? Any questions? Any questions on my stocks of interest? I have a question. How many of you have used any of my stocks of interest to make money? I'm curious to know. All right. I'm curious to know how many of you have made money on some of my stocks of interest. I find them every week, and I'm just curious to know. I like GV, though. I like GV. And all of the people who are not subscribers to the software, take a look at it. Peter, it is a heavy-duty company. It's a heavy-duty construction company. So guess what, Peter? You want to know what it does? I'm going to right-click. You get this as part of your 99-cent trial. Get a full stock analysis report. Let's take a look at what it does. All right. Goldfield engages in the construction of electrical infrastructure for the utility industry and industrial customers. Its activities include construction of transmission lines, concrete foundations, distribution system, fiber optic splicing, substations, electric. Ooh! Who else could this be associated with? How about the 5G people that need to build all of these poles that got all of this 5G stuff on it? How about that? I didn't think about that until just now. Could be a big part of infrastructure for 5G antennas, right? Could be. Interesting. All right, interesting. All right. So, good question, Peter. And how about the software will provide you with that? I like the question. This could be a very interesting stock. So I'm going to keep, like I said, I've developed a search to find these kinds of stocks. And every week I'm going to give you a new stock from that search. Every week. GV is a company I looked at when I built my last transmission line. Good people. There you go, Roger. How about that? So I'm going to provide you with a stock from what's on my radar every week. All right. Charging stations. No, I got a company for that in the clean energy called BLNK, Blink. I think that they are going to be huge, just not right now, but they're going to be huge for the long term in construction of charging stations. All right, Scott says charging stations, but again, maybe from building those, could be, but keep your eye on that stock. All right, folks, it's time. I'm going to open up the graphs. Let's go see what stocks you got. I seen ICLN. I forgot what other stocks I saw. AOPS. I don't have that stock. Somebody put that up in there. REGI. I'm going to try to get them all up there. IPO. That's a good one. REGI. IPO is another good one that I put out there as a stock of interest. Apps. APPS. FVRR, NUS, Gilead, GILD, Mug. Really? You putting Mug? Stop putting Mug. LEG, HMY. Be careful with gold stocks. Not ready to pull the trigger on gold stocks. There's the stock that we were talking about, BLMK. Stock it. Stop, Brian. You almost caught me. CTLT. Now I know you giggling like a schoolgirl. I know you are. IEA, CNC, Centene. May not be a bad play in that space for coronavirus. Peloton. I did a story on that. I think that's a really good stock. Jinko Solar in the clean energy space. D Southern, I won't explain that here right now. Let me get these stocks out first. EXROF, another good stock. I currently own it right now. Can we talk about gold? I got a gold stock in there. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on gold. If you are a subscriber to the software, every Monday in the Daily Color Guard Report, we talk about gold. We talk about gold every Monday in the VectorVest software. So that's your good time to think about looking at gold. APOG. All right. Any stock that I did not type into the room, Joey's going to put a link for you. You can get a free stock analysis report on any stock I did not type into the room. Joey, how many times are you going to type it up there?
3 times.
Holy smokes. I'm going to click on the link just so that you can see what it looks like. There it is. Analyze any stock free. Put in the symbol, send in your email, click the report. That's how you get it, folks. That's it in a nutshell. That link that Joey just put in, I clicked on it. What a stock is really worth, how safe it is, and whether the stock is a buy, sell, or hold. So everyone who's still typing stocks in the room, click the link that Joey just gave to you. This is where you can get a free stock analysis report. All right, let's take a look at these stocks, put them on 3-month graph. ICLN, you know I like clean energy. This is a great way to play the whole clean energy space in one ticker symbol. All right, so right now it's moving sideways, but the 3 and the 8 look good. Let's go put on a 20-day exponential moving average instead. Let's make that a little darker. iClean, look at that. That serves as a beautiful trend line for iClean. It's currently trading above it, and look at that. It's moving sideways. Let's go put volume on here. Add a parameter, price volume. Let's add volume. Oh, phooey, that's not what I wanted. Price volume, add volume, Glenn. Let's go look. Look at that volume. Volume's pulling back a little bit, but when it was rocking and rolling, keep your eye on that. I love iClean to play the whole clean energy space. All right, REGI, renewable energy, a great stock in that space, pulling back right now, bouncing off of what? Look at that. Bouncing right off the 20-day exponential moving average. RT still above 1. Volume is picking down a little bit, but look at that rebound. I like that for you guys, especially for those of you who are day traders. That are swing traders. All right, folks, just 6 more likes, and Joey will make a cameo appearance next to Glenn. We can do this. Wow, how many likes do we get? Well, all right, let's see if we can get one. I want to see if we can get 150 likes, 150 likes today. Let me see if we can get there. All right, if you like what you're seeing today, hit the like button. All right, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit the subscribe button. All right, So REGI, I like. If you're in it, leave it alone. The 20-day exponential moving average is saying it's okay. What an IPO. For all the IPOs that are coming out overall, I think IPOs are going to still keep coming out, even in the COVID-19. Very interesting. But they're doing well. This is a good way to play all the IPOs in one ticker symbol. So iClean or ICLN could be good for playing the whole clean energy space. And for all of the IPOs, a lot of you don't get into them right away, but if you play the IPO ETF, you're actually playing all of them. Do you think Apple will go up after earnings report? Honestly, you're asking me for my opinion, and then I don't like to do that. But earnings, the relative safety for Apple was high. The chances are most likely it will definitely meet or exceed its earnings expectations. And Jonathan, I didn't give you my opinion. I let the software tell you the answer. All right? How cool is that, Jonathan? That's why you guys need to take the 99-cent trial. All right, so that's what I think about it. IPO looks good. Apps looks good as well. Nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average. You know what I also like by using the 20-day? I can see how volatile some of these stocks are. All right, for the most part, over the last 3 months, apps has stayed above that level of the 20-day exponential moving average. Great play. Right now is a down day, and just because it's a down day, you don't panic. Looking at a graph, it's still good. Let's go look at Pfizer. Look at that nice move up over the last 3 months. Was in a little bit of a channel for a little while, broke out of that level of resistance that was at 126.83, ran higher, and is nicely above the 20-day. Sorry. Oh my gosh, Siri. All right. Listen, I'm going to get all Apple devices, but I'm going to turn my Siri off. How can you turn Siri off? Can you turn Siri off? Yes. Okay, I might have to turn my Siri off. Pfizer, I like above the 20-day. RT still above 1. Leave it alone. Let your stops manage to trade. New Skin, personal cosmetics. You know what I don't like? The stock price gapped up right here. I want to use that gap price style. Let's make that a little darker. I got a price of the gap sitting at about $53.68. That's serving as a beautiful level of support. Along with the 20-day exponential in the stock, what I would look for, if the stock's price on an end-of-day basis closes below that level of $53.68, that's probably a good time to get out because it's beautifully a level of floor. After that gap up, that's what I'd look for. All right, that's my, from a technical standpoint. All right. And let's go to the next stock in the list. Woo! Gilead. I ain't liking that. I look at Gilead and I go,
really?
Yeah, I'm not feeling, and I'm feeling a little hurt. I'm not feeling Gilead right now. RT for the last 3 months pretty much has been below 1. Stocks in a downtrend below the 20-day exponential moving average. I'm not feeling Gilead at all. If you're in it, at some point in time, folks, you got to say when enough is enough. You really, really do. How about still using that 20-day exponential moving average? When it falls below, that's a good opportunity to get out. All right. Leggett, moving higher on over the last 3 months, a little bit more volatile than some of the other stocks that we've seen, but for the most part, nice move up today. RT jump up as well, hitting a new 3-month high. I like that perspective. RT is moving higher. I'd go 12 cents higher than the high, as long as the market's still moving up. Remember, no matter what you do with any stock, it all depends on what the market's doing because the market's direction affects 80% of the stocks in the market. So before you buy into any new stock, make sure the market is moving higher before you pull the trigger. All right? That's important. Harmony, I'm not feeling gold. All right, I'm going to do something else. What we look at for the gold is the Huey. All right, the gold bugs, and I'm going to put on a layout that we use for it. Midas touch. I'm not going to explain it. All right. Look at the relative timing on the gold right now. It's still above 1, but moving down. How about from that high? If I move that over, look at what gold's doing. The ideal entry is above that level. And I've been watching gold for a minute. It's got to stay above 319.56, which it is. But look at that trend down. I'm not feeling gold yet. And guess what? What did I give you a story on the dollar? The dollar was getting stronger. It's going to hurt gold. It's going to hurt gold. When the dollar goes down is when gold goes up. Look at the trend. If the dollar gets stronger, gold is not going to be a play. Gold is not going to be a play. All right? So, I wanted to show you. Somebody said, talk about gold. I'm not feeling gold right now, and that's just looking at the technicals on gold. Not yet. Harmony, not feeling it. I know it's above the 20-day exponential moving average, but look at these dojis. Indecision, 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 even though it's above the 20-day, but look at RT. RT is below 1. RT is below 1. All right? Peter says, hey, guys, let's get Glenn 150 likes. He's at 139. Show some appreciation for this great job done. Thank you for that, Peter. I appreciate that. And hopefully a lot of you feel the same way. I hope you do. I hope you do. And, I know I won't appeal to everybody, but I give you real analysis. That's what this Trending Thursday is about. No hype. No hype. This is real analysis. Blink, I do like it. Look at where it pulled back to. Look at where it pulled back, right to that 20-day exponential moving average. I got a level of resistance sitting at a value of 1002. It's trading at 946. It broke through once, tested as a level of support, broke back down, but stayed what? Above the 20-day exponential moving average. I love this moving average for the good middle-of-the-road person. For the good middle-of-the-road person. That's what it's all about, folks. All right, let's go down to the next stock, CTLT. Whew. Another drug biomedical had a run. Stock's price went above the 20-day. RT went above 1. What's it doing now? A little bit of a shooting star pattern here. Inverse hammer. All right, inverse hammer. Look at that follow through. That was those two together were a good time to get out of the stock. I know it's bouncing today. And it is above the 20-day, but that right there was enough to tell me it's a good time to get out of the stock. All right? So, let's go to the next stock. I just be careful with CTLT if you own it. All right? Good opportunity to get out is that 20-day exponential moving average or use whatever stops that you're using. IEA, another energy clean. Remember, for all of these energy clean stocks that are moving, I like ICLN. It takes care of the whole industry. I like this stock bouncing off a level of support sitting at $3.83. Bounced through a level of resistance, bounced through that 20-day exponential moving average. RT, again, you don't have RT any other place than in VectorVest. Put those two together. How about you can create a search where stock's price is breaking above the 20-day exponential moving average and RT bouncing, getting above 1. You want to search to find you these kinds of stocks? You can do it in VectorVest. 99 cents gets you that capability. That link, you got to click on that YT link, though, so that we know that you're coming from YouTube. That link that Joey is putting in for the 99 cents is only for this session. You click on it. We now know what we're going to give you, but we now know that you're coming in from YouTube. I can create a search where the stock's price is bouncing through the 20-day exponential moving average and RT is going above 1. Man. All right. If you're in it, leave it alone. CNC, same kind of scenario. Price jumps above the 20-day moving average and RT above 1. That was a good buying opportunity. The stock's price now, though, is stuck at a level of resistance, sitting at a value of 65.83. Currently, we're 2 cents off of that level. Look how many times it's hit that level of resistance. See that? 65.83. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. That is a beautiful level of resistance, and I'd like to see the stock's price break above that before I buy it. All right? That's a beautiful level of resistance. Whew! Peloton. I can't say nothing bad about it, except for it's darn good. Can you still get into it? Yep. Make sure the market's going up on the day that you buy it, 12 cents higher than the high. Peloton is beauteous. Why? Because gyms are shutting down, going out of business because they've been shut down so long. Peloton, people can go to the gym from home. That's it in a nutshell. People can go to the gym from home. And they're coming out with different bicycles. They're coming out with different schemes on the classes you can take. Peloton, by all means, is a beautiful play. All right, so somebody said the DJI is green. Yeah, I got a tool that told me that I wasn't playing the market to the downside today. Jinko Solar, man, rocking and rolling. I'm going to XROF. I'm still trading that stock. I'm happy. TSM, I like it. Watch the pullback, though, and keep your eye on this level of support at 88.70 and this level of the 20-day exponential moving average. And APOG, it broke through resistance at 24.58, now testing it as a level of support right there. Now, remember I just told you real quick that I knew that the market, I wasn't going to play it to the downside today. I got a tool known as the Derby. 99 cents. I'll give you access to this in our trading room called the Jockey Club. Click on that YT link, folks. This tool today told me to stay long in my positions. This tool today showed me and told me to stay long in my positions. And guess what? Where's the home page? The home page, if the home page pops up, look at that. The Dow just went positive. The composite just went positive. Again, it wasn't me. I used the software. I used the software to do it. So for 99 cents, we'll give you access to our trading room. Folks, you're getting the deal of a lifetime for 99 cents. Click that YT link so that we know that you're coming for YouTube. Folks, I'd love to see a big influx of subscriptions at 99 cents today. All right, folks, do it. Hey, VV Nation, talk to the people in the room who don't have a trial at 99 cents. Talk to them. This is not me. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. For all of the people who are still leery about taking out the 99 cent trial, look at the chat. All right, and this is from them. This ain't from me. And yeah, I just put myself out there because they could turn around and stab me in the back and say, I ain't saying nothing. But take a look at the chat in regards to the 99 cent trial, folks. All right, so it's there. Take it. We got 159 likes? We did? All right, we got 158. Did somebody turn it back down? All right, so thank you for being here today. My chat didn't help me out as far as the 99 cent trial. I don't know what just happened. I don't know if I just pissed off some people. Woo-wee. I don't know if I did or not. But anyway.
Talk about some more time.
Say again. Oh, the summit, again, free 3-day summit. A free 3-day summit next week, next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I will be hosting. I will be hosting for all 3 days. All right. We have instructors from around the world. We've got presenters from all around the world to talk about swing trading, to talk about options, to talk about retirement. Folks, that's what it's all about. And it's free, absolutely free. And your boy, Glenn E. Tompkins Jr. will be hosting it, and Joey will be running it on a big level, on a big boy level in the background. Say again? Are we going to give away some mugs? Glenn, how can I do a VV scan to find stocks 52-week high, volume, good for bearish day searches? How about this? I got a search already in the software. I don't know where it is. Huh? That's not what I wanted. I wanted the one that's got the... I have to go to it? That's not it? That's not it? That's it. I got a Unisearch tool. You want to find a stock that's hitting a new 52-week high? How about we got high-low searches for stocks? How about I find a stock that's hitting a new 52-week high? 52-week high, I run that right now, and then I can add to it to make sure that I'm looking for stocks for a day trade. How about I look for hitting a 52-week high, and watch this, stocks, percent price change, less than 0. Oh. So now these are stocks that hit a new 52-week high, right? That are all going down. Ta-da! How cool. I did that on the fly. You asked the question, that's how simple you can do it for 99 cents, folks. 52-week high, you want to be able to short them? How about finding the stocks that are going down the most? Excuse me. I did that just like that. Just like that. 99 cents gets you that kind of access, folks. 99 cents. No, I already talked about apps today already, a little bit, and that it was a good stock to be in. That's all I was going to do, talk about it today. And Joey put up the splash about the 99 cents, what you get for 99 cents. The YT link does not mention the Derby. Is it included? I talked to Mark. Mark said it was included. I don't know how to, you know something? If it doesn't show that it's included, give our product support staff a call. Let them know that you want the 99 cent trial, but with real time in Derby. All right, so there you go. All right, folks. I want to see a lot of you guys tomorrow in the Jockey Club. I got the Jockey Club tomorrow. If you are signing up for real time in the Derby with the YT link, when you come into the room, I want you to put VV Nation YT. I want to see and recognize all of the people who are coming from YouTube today, coming into our trading room tomorrow. Type into the room, VV Nation YT. Peter, no, they're not getting it $29 for 30 days. They're getting it 99 cents for 30 days for real time in the Derby. All right. That's what's going on. It's real time and data included. Yes, it is, Rajiv. All right. And no, Marie, I've already analyzed all of the stocks that I'm going to do for today. But again, Joey has put the link in there several times to get the free stock analysis report, Marie. Click on that link and you can get a free stock analysis for Penn. All right. You can get a free stock analysis for Penn. But I'm just saying, for all of the people who will be joining me from YouTube tomorrow in our live Jockey Club session, come into the room typing in VVNation/YT. All right? So, with that, folks, I'm out of here. I know you paid $29, Peter. I'm giving these guys a deal on YouTube, a hell of a deal. 99 cents for 30 days of real time in the Derby. All right? So with that, folks, have a great day. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha, salam, shalom, namaste. Peace. We're out of here. Hello, everyone. This is Glenn Tompkins here at VectorVest, and I wanted to let you know that the #1 online financial freedom summit is back. That's right, baby. It's back again. It was such a hit the last time we did it that, guess what? We're bringing it back again. Now, you know the purpose is to change your family legacy. You want to be able to provide for your family from the stock market. You want to have generational wealth to pass on to your children. Well, that's what this summit is all about. We want you to take control of your future. So many people use other people to manage their money, and sometimes they make money, sometimes they don't. Why don't you take control of your future, manage your own money, and we'll show you how. We're going to teach you how to put your money to work and grow your money. I know you've heard the statement, you want to work smart, not hard. We're going to teach you how to grow your money and work smart. But it all starts with some semblance of financial literacy. You got to understand what's going on in the market and how to best take advantage of it. So to accommodate that, we've got presenters from all over the world to present from you. We've got people here in our VectorVest staff. We've got people in the EU. We have people in the UK. We have people in Australia here to provide information for you. And guess what? We've got a guest special speaker. We're not going to tell you about it yet, but you're going to be highly impressed when we tell you who he is. With all of these people who will be presenting for you, you're going to be receiving decades of real world experience. It's one thing to just have somebody on the screen talk to you, but these are people that are not only giving you what you need to know, they've done it. And with them doing it, you can do it too. So we want you to join us for our next Financial Freedom Summit. Just listen to the name. If you're looking to be financially free, we're going to put all of the tools in your hands to manage your own money, to have generational wealth, and to live a life of financial freedom. So we hope to see you all there.